Hello everyone, and welcome to Spinning in Vegas's first episode of Let's Talk Slots. Now guys, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to edit this or how I'm going to make the episode. Like I said, it's the first one I've done, so I'm not really sure how to approach this, but I do have a few ideas in mind, and I think for the first episode, as you can see from the title, I decided to play it safe and go with The Walking Dead 1. So guys, as most of you know, Walking Dead 1 is amongst my favorite slots of all time. This is a machine made by Aristocrat, and they have gotten the license from AMC. Now, The Walking Dead, as you all know, is a television show that airs on AMC. It's hugely popular. It has millions and millions and millions of fans all over the world. And Aristocrat really did a great job with grabbing that Walking Dead, the creepy, dark theme style, and bringing it into the slot machine. Now, I also watched the Walking Dead series. I've been a fan, not an overly huge fan. I don't go crazy over that series. I find the writing to be a little boring, but it is a good series, and I think that AMC really did, Aristocrat really did a great job with, you know, matching the dark theme of The Walking Dead. Now, this might just be my opinion. I have more fun playing the slot machine, the Walking Dead slot machine, than I do watching the actual show. Now there's something to be said for that. I find that when you're sitting at the Walking Dead machine, and as you see the reels spinning, getting all, you know, the different types of features and bonuses that happen, is really engaging, and they really do a great job in projecting the Walking Dead experience to the player. You do get the Walking Dead music in the slot machine. It's great because you're sitting in a surround sound chair, so you have speakers in the back, so as you hit the buttons, you'll hear the music in the back. When the bonus symbol lands, you'll hear a loud bang in the back, and actually, if you don't expect it, it can kind of scare you at first, depending on how loud you set the volume on the machine. Now let's get to the basic mechanics of the game. So what you're looking at is a 6 reel set, okay? And there's 24 symbols on the regular base game. And this is an any way pay. It's not 40 lines, 50 lines, not 1,072 lines. It's any way pay. So no matter where the symbols land, as long as they land subsequently. So if you get, you know, a symbol that lands on 1, 2, and 3, you're going to get a payout. Actually, if you get Rick, Shane, or Lori, they will pay on reels 1 and 2. You don't need to have them on the 3rd reel. So that's kind of cool. But with that comes a problem, and probably one of the only things I don't like about this machine is that when you get Rick lining up on reels 1, 2, and 3, even if it's only 3 symbols, it's going to sing a little jingle. Ravens. That's where they made a mistake with this machine. That delayed wind on the 3 Ricks. And it makes you, if you're new to the slot machine, you're thinking like, oh my god, did I just hit a bonus or something? Because it's taken a while for my win to show up on the screen. And no, it doesn't. It doesn't. You just get a real small pay, and kind of lets the player down, especially if you're new. For somebody who's experienced with the slot, seeing that happen, oh, it's just a nuisance. It's just like, oh, come on, hurry up. You can't speed it up, and I think out of, that's probably the only thing I would change about this slot machine is that when you get Rick on 1, 2, and 3, even if it's just 3 symbols, having that there really isn't needed. And the same can be said for Michonne on Walking Dead 2. If you get just 3 of her, it does the same thing. It's highly annoying. I wish Aristocrat would change that for any future Walking Dead titles. But yeah, it's a 6x4, so 24 symbol. This slot machine, what I like in a slot machine is potential. I love potential in any slot machine. Walking Dead is going to give you a lot of potential, providing you bet max. So you do have varying bet levels. You have 75 cents, you have $1.50, $2.25, and a max bet of $3. It is a penny denomination machine. You cannot change the denomination on The Walking Dead 1. Now, even at 75 cents, this game is going to entertain you. The wins, the bet multiplier is not going to be as good. The payback percentage is not going to be as good as if you were betting the max bet of $3. However, you can get really, really big wins even at a minimum bet of 75 cents. My wife, for example, had played The Walking Dead 1 at the 75-cent bet level. She had got a feature where the reels grow and move to the side, or sorry, move to the left, and lorries had landed on the screen. They went all the way across, and she got a payout of like $860, which was an apocalyptic win for that bet level. And it was proof that even minimum betting on this machine can net big amounts of money and still very much entertaining. So yeah, if you're a low roller, you can play this machine, expect to be entertained, especially if you're a fan of the show, because like I said, Aristocrat really grabbed the essence of this show really quite well and did a great job projecting that to the player. This game was released in September 24th, 2013 at the Gaming Expo. So at G2E in 2013, this game was unleashed onto the market, and it really set the bar incredibly high. Up until that point, there really wasn't anything like this. And from what I can understand, speaking to a lot of other gamers out there, Walking Dead 1 is always high on everybody's list of favorite games. And you know, you start asking yourself questions. Why is that? You know, why is this everybody's favorite game? Well, it's quite simple. One, they got a license from a great show. So first of all, the face value, you know, is there, and everybody recognizes The Walking Dead. You know, so it got that going for it right away. But it's the game style. It's how the game plays. It's that flippin' bonus round. I always play this game for the bonus, okay? And I think a lot of people would be lying if they said they didn't. So the bonus wheel. This bonus game, like I said, it all starts with potential. And, you know, I just said that a few minutes earlier. If you're in Vegas, the bonus, the grand jackpot, will start at $500,000 because this is a wide area progressive in Vegas. I believe it's either citywide or statewide. And believe it or not, this hits more often than people think. The grand on The Walking Dead at a standalone casino, I believe, starts right around $7,000 and goes up. It will hit just as often as that $7,000 grand as it will as a $500,000 grand. The only difference with the $500,000 grand is a lot of properties chip in and pay out that grand jackpot. So it's the same, but you get more people playing it because the jackpot is higher. So your odds at hitting a wide area progressive and the standalone progressive is the same with The Walking Dead 1. They're not going to change, okay? That can't be said for many other machines, okay? But for The Walking Dead 1, that grand jackpot odds is the same on a standalone or wide area progressive. So keep that in mind. So the potential is just super high. The bonus round. Actually, before we get to the bonus rounds, we'll just say, we'll talk about some of the features first. We like to save the best for last. Now, even at the minimum bet level of 75 cents, you are eligible for all the features in the game. The only thing you're not eligible for, betting under $3, is the grand jackpot. So if you want to win that $500,000 or that $7,000, you have to bet $3. You need to bet the maximum amount. And that's why I love max betting machines, because I don't have to look at any pay tables. I know I'm eligible for everything that machine has to offer. And that's always a smart way to play because your payback percentages are higher. Of course, everything has to work within your budget. So if you don't have the budget to max bet, don't worry too much. Like I said, Walking Dead will still be a very entertaining title for you. But yes, even at 75 cents, you are eligible for all of the features and bonuses that the machine has to offer. So we're going to talk about the first feature that I'll talk about here. It's the reel growth. So sometimes when you hit the spin button, the screen will start to darken a little bit and it'll flash, almost like lightning. And your reels will grow. Now they can either grow by 1, 2, or 3. So on reels 2, 3, 4, and 5, reels 1 and reels 6 will not grow. So just 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, when these reels grow up, they guarantee a win. Aristocrat just nailed it with that one thing alone. Now, I have always said in my previous videos that one of the biggest things that piss me off about a slot machine is when a feature happens and pays nothing. What's the fucking point? Why do it? Why should you elevate a player and then drop him on his head by doing nothing? You know what that player is going to do? He's going to get pissed off. He's going to cash out and never play that machine again. Why? Because you gave him the understanding. You know, you led him to believe that something cool was going to happen. Okay? And yes, a feature is cool. They don't happen every spin. You know, so when it does happen, guarantee you win, even if it's small. When the reels grow in Walking Dead, chances are you may get your bet back. Sometimes you get a lot more than your bet back. You know what I mean? Sometimes when the reels grow, you have a chance at, you know, the wild horde bonus and the other one where it adds the characters. Now, guys, these can pay out unbelievable amounts. There's the wild attack and the horde bonus, sorry. So it's guaranteed to win, and when you get those extra reels, extra symbols in the growth, you have a better chance at a bonus game. Now, when the reels grow in Walking Dead, there's a way that you can tell if you're going to get the bonus or not. Now, I've always told people this is something you can't unknow once you've known it. So after playing The Walking Dead 1 for quite a while, I realized that there is a way that you can tell you're going to get the bonus. Okay, so when the reels grow up, like I said, it guarantees a win. So if you don't see any symbols lining up on reels 1, 2, and 3, you know the bonus is going to happen. And, you know, because the bonus is a win. You're going to win something when the bonus lands. Just when the 3 symbols land, it guarantees you win. So if you don't see anything line up on reels 1, 2, and 3 when the reels grow up, you know that the 3 bonus symbols are indeed going to land. And it's kind of cool when it happens, because sometimes like the bonus symbol will land on reel 1, won't land on reel 2, won't land on reel 3, but you're looking at it and you're like, shit, nothing else is adding up. What's my win? You know the other 2 bonus symbols are going to land on either reels 4, 5, or 6. So that's how you know a bonus is coming. And that's always cool too, because you know what's going to happen. You can sit back and be like, oh man, right on, I'm going to a bonus round. I remember playing next to somebody, it was a girl and maybe her husband or something like that, and she was betting and the reels grew up. I was watching as the reels grew up, and it was just like that. The bonus symbol landed on reel 1. I can't remember where the other ones landed, but nothing landed up in reel 1, 2, or 3. And I looked at her and I said, I guarantee you 150% you're getting the bonus. And the bonus landed, and she looked at me and she was like, oh my God, how did you know that? And I told her exactly what I knew. I mean, you know, I'm not clairvoyant. I'm not a psychic. So anyway, quite cool to know when the bonus is coming. Now, when the reels grow up, even if they only grow by 1 reel set, so if it adds 1 extra layer of symbols, you have a chance at triggering either the wild attack or the horde. Now, we'll talk about the first one, the wild attack. So if the screen moves to the right, you know that you're going to get the wild attack feature. Now, what this can do is add anywhere from 2 wild symbols to 10 wild symbols, maybe even more. Sometimes this is really bad. Most of the times the wild attack is quite bad. However, it's better than just the reels growing up because they are adding wild symbols to your reel sets. And if you get the right things lining up, hand pay. I'm serious. Big time hand pay, especially if they land a lot of wilds. My wife had hit in a wild feature once. It didn't pay much. It was like maybe $300-400, but it was a 75-cent bet. And she just got like 10 wilds on the screen, everywhere from reel 2 to reel 6. They just landed everywhere. But she didn't get the right symbols that lined up, and it could have been so much better. But the potential for this wild horde is there. Wild attack, sorry. I don't know what the percentage is on those features happening once the reels grow up. From what I can tell, maybe around 10%. It does not happen often, but when it does, again, it's going to guarantee you a win. As soon as those reels grow up, no matter what happens, if it doesn't feature further, you're still going to get the guaranteed win if it does it or does not. So that's always cool because, hey, if you're adding extra wilds, that's just adding more potential. So that wild attack is quite good. However, I don't find it as good as the wild horde. Or not the wild horde, it's just called the horde. So what's going to happen with the horde is your reels are going to grow, and then it's going to move to the left. Now the horde is going to add 1 random character to the reels, and it'll add them to at least the first 3. Sometimes it'll go even further. If it's Rick, Lori, or Shane, sometimes it can only add to the reels 1 and 2. However, this for me is going to be the best, because if you get Ricks, I've had it before where Rick's lined up on reel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all 6 reels. So that in itself, I think, is 50 bucks if you get just Rick on one reel all the way across. Now, if you land him on any other reels, this is where you can get jackpots that are more than the grand jackpot, okay? And I'm not joking. There has been people who have won $50,000 with Ricks lining up on that the Horde feature, okay? That's at max bet, okay? You're not going to get that kind of money betting 75 cents. If you were to get that many Ricks, well, your bet multiplier is going to be much, much lower, and you'll probably win more like 5,000 rather than 50. Again, still a great win for 75 cents. It just goes to show you the potential that this game has to offer. So when you see the reels grow up and then it moves to the left, you know you're going to get the Wild Horde. Of course, you want to get the better paying symbols like Rick, Shane, and Lori. Rick obviously going to be the best. If you get Glenn or Andrea or even Daryl, Daryl can pay still really, really good. The ones that I don't like seeing are obviously going to be Glenn and Andrea. They are very low paying symbols. They pay a little bit more than the Crows. And I really don't get too excited when I see that. Unless the screen is just absolutely full of them. You might get an apocalyptic win, but chances are you'll get at the most an incredible win with Glenn's or Andrea. That's not to say that apocalyptic wins are not possible on those two symbols. It's just the odds are it's going to be a lower amount. But that is an amazing feature. One of my favorite features in the game is that the Horde feature, especially if you get 3 growths on your reel set. So like I said, you have a chance of getting 1, 2, or 3. And if you get 3 with the Wild Hordes with Rick, oh, it's just so fun, guys, because you're so excited. You're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Because the potential is just so huge. So I love those 2 features there, guys. So that's 3 features right there. The real growth being 1, that's a guaranteed win. And then with the chance at getting either Wild Attack or the Horde. So great job there by Aristocrat. It really, really captures the essence of The Walking Dead 2, because as you pan across, you see zombies flooding the screen, coming at you, the sounds, the music, the effects, the shaking chair, all that stuff works so well to immerse the player in the Walking Dead experience. Now we're going to get to the bonus game. So if you happen to land 3 or more bonus symbols, you are going to go to the bonus round. Now, this is one of the funnest bonus rounds I think I've ever played. I find the bonus round funner in The Walking Dead 1 than in The Walking Dead 2. Simply because that wheel, you can stay on that wheel, go all the way up to 8 levels on that wheel, and every time you progress to the next level wheel, the amounts go up, and the secondary amounts on the mini, major, and grand and minor, they'll all gradually increase as you get, progress up these wheel levels. So most of the time when you get the bonus, you're going to last no more than 3, maybe 5 levels. I've made it all the way to level 8, and really wasn't significantly better than only going to level 3. Simply because you can land on free games or the CDC wheel, which we'll talk about in a moment, and they could change, just substantially the amount of money that you win separate from the wheel itself. Most people win the bulk of their money on the wheel, but a lot of people win huge amounts on the other features as well. So you just basically spin this wheel. As long as you don't land on the CDC wheel or free games, you will continue to spin that wheel and stay on that wheel until you hit either the CDC wheel or the free games. Here is where people hit the grand jackpot. It's the only part of the game where you can hit the grand jackpot. So if you're betting max at $3, you spin that wheel. If it lands on the grand, congratulations, you did almost the impossible and won a lot of money, especially if it's a wide area progressive that starts at $500,000. You are now rich. Okay, that is life-changing money right there. That could pay off your house, pay off your car, pay off all your bills, clean slate. There you go. Congratulations, like I said. I've never had it done, never happened to me. I've never seen it done in person. It's just so incredibly rare to happen, but they do happen, and they happen more often than you think. So it's great potential in this great game, and that wheel alone is what made this game what it is today. That bonus round is just so incredibly fun to know that You can hit that wheel, spin it as many times, as long as you're not getting free games of the CDC wheel and your money just adding up, especially if you're hitting like the minors, the majors, even the minis can be friggin' high. You know, like I said, as you progress, the secondary amounts on the minis, the minors, the majors are gonna go up. And so do the credit amounts. So on this wheel, you also have credit amounts. And those go up with every level. So you just start accumulating money, getting more, getting more, getting more, getting more. And just when you think, especially if you're a first-time player, you know, when you don't get a credit amount, you think it's over. It's not over. You're either going to get free games or the CDC wheel. So let's talk about the CDC wheel. So with the CDC wheel, you're going to have a chance to win credits, multiple prizes. You can even trigger walker bonuses within the CDC wheel. So what's the walker bonus? Okay, so as your wheel is spinning down in your CDC wheel bonus, you can get a walker bonus X2, walker bonus X3, walker bonus X5, and walker bonus X10. Now when you land on one of these, we'll say the X10 for example, just to keep things easy and simple. So if you land on walker bonus X10, you are going to get a random amount of extra free spins, no more than 3. It's either 1, 2, or 3. And the next amount that you land on will be multiplied by 10. This is where the potential is in the CDC wheel bonus. It's that Walker X10. Now, if you get the Walker X10 bonus and hit a grenade on one of the characters, especially Rick, oh, hand pay. Huge hand pays. If you get Rick grenade at X10 and hit all the amounts, hand pay city. If you hit the grenade, get all the amounts on Shane or Lori, hand pay city. It's the potential is there. If you hit X10 and hit the $400 amount, that's $4,000 just on one spin. And again, it's random on how many spins you're going to get. But again, they're all going to be X10. Now you can get X10 and then hit Glenn on the very smallest amount and not really amount to much. But again, it's X10 and you know, you can get more than one free spin. So once your X10 or your walker bonus is over, you'll go back to your regular spins on the CDC wheel. And you will stay on the CDC wheel for the amount of spins that you have left. Now, like I said earlier, you can also land on the grenades. So if you land on a grenade, you have a chance at winning all the amounts for that character that you land on. So you can add up to big money. Most people don't like the CDC wheel. I can agree that it's probably the least desirable feature of the game. However, I do know that the potential is there, but the chances of hitting that potential is just so incredibly low. I suppose like anything else in the game, you know, a hand pay is going to be difficult, whether it's on the CDC wheel or whether it's on the free games or whether it's on the base game or the real growth or the bonus wheel. It's all the same. However, I just find that there's more potential in the free games. So when you're doing your bonus wheel game and you go over to the free games, that for me is going to be a better option, simply because in the free games you have something called guts. Now, what guts are random things that come down on the reels, and they will replace 3 symbols as wilds. Now, I've seen some juicy line pays on YouTube where guts landed on reels 2, 3, 4, and 5 with Rick in the front and Rick in the back. Hand pay. Apocalyptic, just thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Again, you can hit 50 grand, more than the grand jackpot, with Rick lining up with all those wilds. The guts for me is, and especially in the bonus game, free games, where when the reels grow up, remember, because even in the free games in the bonus, when the reels grow up, it's still going to guarantee a win, but it's a little bit more, juicier because those guts that can land. So if your reels grow up by 3 and you happen to land guts on, you know, reel 2, 3, and 4, or even reels 2 and 3, oh, you know that the potential is there. And for me, the free games is going to be a much better option than the CDC wheel. And like I said, if you look at YouTube and you look at different bonuses, you will see people in the free games who've landed guts on, you know, a lot of the reel sets, had the right symbols line up, and the amounts are just astronomical. Even at a 75-cent bet level, you could win thousands of dollars if you get the right symbols lining up. And that, for me, is the game in a nutshell. You know, I'm here at 25 minutes almost talking about this game. The game was just so well done. It was well thought out. It was not rushed. Everything from the sound, the looks, the way the game plays reminds you of The Walking Dead. So, but you don't have to be a fan of the show to be a fan of the game. Like I said, I get more enjoyment out of playing the game than I do watching the show. So you don't necessarily have to be a fan of The Walking Dead to sit down and almost feel like you're reading a story or watching a show as you're playing the game, because it really does immerse you in the Walking Dead world. It's creepy, it's gritty, it's dark, it's fun, I love it, it's got potential. Even if I lose on this game, I still have fun. You'll never hear me be bitter or salty playing The Walking Dead 1, win or lose. I've sat down at this machine and lost $500 in under 10 minutes. Most people would be upset with losing $500. I always have fun, it always entertains me, and you know, in the end, what matters most to me is enjoying myself when I'm at a casino, having fun, and you just cannot lose playing this game if you're in it for the entertainment value. So, and guys, this is why this slot machine won the 2014 Global Gaming Award. So it won the Casino Product of the Year. It won. So there's a lot to be said for that. Aristocrat, you guys killed it with this slot machine. You changed the game. You might have set the bar so high with these Walking Dead games that it's going to be very tough, even for yourself, to top these titles. How could you do better? That's a challenge, but there's no better company than Aristocrat to figure that out. I'm sure what you guys will come out with next is going to be bigger and better. And, you know, that was evident with Walking Dead 2. I just couldn't think how you could top Walking Dead 1. And I've always said that Walking Dead 2 and Walking Dead 1 were pretty well the same with me, but I do like Walking Dead 2 a little more. And I never thought that was possible. And you guys set the bar and then you topped it. And I just can't wait to see what you guys come out with next. So there you go, guys. There's the Walking Dead 1 in a nutshell. It's made for everybody, every bet level, huge potential, fun game. And I hope that the next time you see it at your casino, you will sit down at that machine, give it a chance, and just be entertained all to hell. No pun intended. So there you go, guys. Walking Dead 1. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode of Let's Talk Slots. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video, comment below. What are your thoughts on The Walking Dead 1? Have you done well on it? Have you not done well on it? I've heard of people running $1,500 through this machine. That's right at you, Brent. And not got a bonus. And then, actually, he never got a bonus on like $1,500 playthrough, and then he sat down and won an astronomical amount. How apropos. There you go. All right, guys, Walking Dead 1. I will see you guys, episode 2. Take care.